All right, folks, we're back, and we're getting into game number 1, very last series of the day. It's our last cast for WCS Austin. I hope you've enjoyed the show. I really hope we've been able to put on a good one for you. It's been really fun just hanging out, and of course, getting to cast some really good players at StarCraft. We've seen some upsets though. Like before we even get into this, one of these players is an upset to the bracket. So I am willing to believe anything is possible. So I press all the wrong buttons.
Getting it right the first time is impossible.
Yeah, that's the impossibility. But up here in the top right, I think without a doubt in my mind, he's the favorite player. He's the Polish pride. It's the blue Zerg, Nerchio.
In the bottom left, as the red Zerg, it is JonSnow. I feel like I don't hear myself as much.
Speak again.
Hello.
I can turn that up a little bit maybe for you.
I don't know what happened.
I think we swapped headsets. Maybe?
Did I already have... My thing is like bigger?
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
Okay, well, we'll figure it out as we go. I actually have to turn myself down, so I think we definitely swapped. Anyways, he's going for the pool. He's going for the gas, and he's going to try and put the squeeze on Nerchio early on.
Squeeze.
But
squeeze.
Actually, I'm not hearing you as good either. Maybe put that closer to your mouth is the thing.
Yeah.
There you go. That's already better.
Yeah, it is better. I put it like a little bit far away so you wouldn't hear me go.
Oh, the sexy noises you make, Zombie Grub.
But I guess I got a little too far away.
All right, so we're gonna actually have the pool gas come out of this before the hatchery. So Nerchio's not playing greedy, and he's not gonna get shut down like we saw earlier. It's unfortunate when you do have like a hard counter, but that's not going to be the case here. And JonSnow's going to have to actually work for a kill.
I talked to Cham a little bit about this match, but of course everyone's predicting Nerchio to be the favorite to actually win, but I feel like I had such a good feeling about Nerchio versus Mono, and that it's a different matchup. It still ended such in a surprising way that I'm thinking like JonSnow will already upset Arstom, and if Nerchio is feeling just a little bit off, and if maybe he takes this cheese right here to heart, maybe that really sets up JonSnow well for the rest of the series. But unfortunately, JonSnow is scouting incorrectly first. In fact, it's so bad because he's going to reveal the Lings to the Overlord in the top left and not even be at the right base. That just gives so much advance notice to Nerchio.
That's a double, this sucks, is what that is.
That's so bad, too. Like, usually, I'm really not sure what happened. His Overlord, I thought, like, usually you can tell if the Overlord is in the... Basically, I thought he would have...
a certain way, yeah.
I thought he would have backed off from the top left a little bit sooner, but he actually committed so much that got seen to the Overlord. It's really quite bad. Yeah,
so Queen on the ramp. We got some Lings over there, too. Maybe he'll give up the natural? This is a hard question to ask, though, because there's not that much attacking it yet.
Even if he was scouted preemptively, and that gives, you know, Nerchio the time to think about the game a little bit more than he should be able to, this is still a real all-in from JonSnow. Like, he's got speed and he's got Banelings, and Nerchio still does not have either one, although his Banelings did just finish. That's a Spine Crawler already on the wall. With the Banelings making the complete wall as well, I'm thinking maybe JonSnow's a little bit screwed. If he doesn't get the hatchery, then that's just it's done.
It was a really bold attempt for game one, but I mean, like, well, no, there's no chance he gets the hatchery now. The Banelings and the Queen alone can push this back. People in chat, by the way, already saying JonSnow has no chance against Nerchio. I always would say the same thing versus Hearthstone. He got 0-2'd by Hearthstone to come back and win the group 2-1. JonSnow's already made upsets in this tournament. So don't get me wrong. I'm definitely on the favor of Nerchio in this. I really think Nerchio will win this series. But there's actually a chance, without like fake hype, there's actually a chance JonSnow could make something happen.
Well, this was not that chance.
No, not this game. It's not going to start like that. No.
It's not as good as he was hoping for. It sucks too. Like, not only was he scouted, but I feel like Nerchio might have kind of predicted this. I mean, there is kind of a stereotype that if you know you're the better person and you're pretty sure that they think you're the better player as well, that you're just going to be on edge about cheese, you know? Like, and if you are the better player, then you're going to think, I just need to defend against cheese and I should win too. So, I mean, Nerchio might have already had it in his mind just to be prepared to see Lings at any point in time in the early game. In this case, he did perfectly with an Overlord. So, it's going to be an uphill climb for sure by JonSnow, and he is going to try and macro out of this. This is actually such a good defense by Nerchio. There really isn't much of a chance, but he's going to try.
I'm with you on this, but I guess the thing about ZvZ that's kind of interesting is early game has the most comeback potential from being really behind. Whether it's that one Baneling hit or not, I do want to point out JonSnow's actually going for melee weapons. So, while the Banelings may or may not be cool, even if this gets to roaches for Nerchio, there's a small chance JonSnow's all-in follow-up could actually get us around. It could, more importantly, get kills and maybe get him an edge where he needs it.
I think the ideal scenario here is that Nerchio takes a third base and then makes about 3 roaches, thinking that's going to be enough. And then in the midst of defending his third from a very small amount of Lings, get surrounded by a lot of lings with +1. Like, that's going to be kind of an ideal scenario, though. And if at any point Nerchio kind of figures out what's going on and, you know, puts the roaches in the mineral line, or he makes a wall and is natural, JonSnow's once again is going to be very easily deflected.
I just really want to see whether this +1 comes into effect or not. Because the thing is, without Carapace, there's still a chance for Nerchio, too. Like, I just finished talking about this for JonSnow. Nerchio just needs to land a Baneling hit, and all those +1 lings disappear.
Exactly. That's the real problem with the +1. The +1 melee is a little bit cheaper, and it makes those lings very strong against the rounds on the roaches, but it means that they cannot take that extra hit from the Baneling. So they, you know, a couple of Banelings, that's really all Nerchio needs, and just get a good enough hit with them.
Well, there's not actually that many Banelings for Nerchio. The big part of this is because he was moving towards roaches. In fact, investing in the weapon upgrades in 2. I think that if he realizes this is coming with +1, he makes some Banelings pretty quickly. But right now, he's happy to just sit around with lings.
Yeah. Yeah, still hasn't quite seen Evolution Chamber, and I mean, you know, he doesn't quite know if there's gonna be a transition as well. But he's gonna be attacking in here. He's got Banelings on the way. He's got a lot of lings attacking the JonSnow's third base, and while he doesn't need that for economy, as he is all-inning, he still needs that for larva. I mean, it's 20 workers down. There's no way he's gonna catch up on economy. Tries to get a pretty good hit, and it's just okay. A couple of Banelings, a couple lings rather. 8 roaches on the way for Nerchio. He's getting his +1 as well, and JonSnow now has his +1, but is still getting beat out.
He's got no units to take advantage of that +1 with.
Yeah,
the few lings running in might be able to save his third, but it's not about saving the third. It was supposed to be about dealing damage on the other side of the map. Banelings managed to wiggle under the mineral line, but the splits out of Nerchio are good.
Accidentally clicks on the roach one of the Baneling. Ew. But yeah, gets this around the Queen and did a lot of damage to that hatchery, I guess, from earlier. So it was a little bit scary, but not nearly enough lings. And this is way too many roaches. JonSnow, as I said, like, that was such a good defense by Nerchio early on. JonSnow, in maybe a latter game, would have just tapped out. Like, okay, I definitely lost. But, I mean, he's really trying to make it work here. It's not going to work. He's actually even taking so much time to initiate a real attack that Nerchio might have +1 in his own missile attacks. Just, it's bad news. I don't know what JonSnow's thinking now. He's going to wait till he's +1 Carapace.
Austin. Has Austin changed Zombie Grub's accent?
He's not the only person that said that I sound a little different. I don't think it's the...
Well, I understand sounding different quality-wise, but to identify as having a different accent...
Well, yeah. But I think it's actually not the mic necessarily, it's that I'm a little bit hoarse. I'm a horse. Nah, my voice feels very tired.
Yeah, I am definitely feeling strained from all the yelling. My problem comes not from this weekend, though, because I've been like mostly sleeping since I got to Austin. It was during LCS and everything, though. We went a bunch of bar hopping with friends, and it's just constant yelling, so my throat was sore before I even got here.
Yeah, I hate live music. You know, like, there's some bands that are really good, and I guess if you're going to go to some place for the live music, fine, whatever. But I hate when, like, every bar has live music, because then I can't talk. Why?
So, I agree 100%, but that's also because I don't listen to music, so...
Yeah. Well, and then in Austin, it's still a lot of country, despite being a pretty liberal part of Texas.
Yeah, actually, we need to find a place that's kind of just like the hotel bar, right? Or we just sit down, play cards.
You know, our hotel is so legit. It just sucks that it is across a damn bridge. It seems to go on forever. Like, they did the Stephen King bridge.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Like,
nobody walking down that way.
You think it's not that bad, and then you're just like on it for like 30 minutes. You're like, wait a minute.
Well, this is going to be a pretty nice surrounder to JonSnow. He's accrued a lot of lings. He's got that +1, so the roaches are going down. Nerchio backs away into the wall, but it's not going to save all the roaches. And JonSnow will actually take a pretty good army fight. Yeah. However, this cost him so much to do to take one army fight. Nerchio's going to have round 2 back at home, and I don't think it'll be as bad the second time around.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that ling upgrades are no joke, but Nerchio also had his own upgrade, and it really was just the fact that he was also caught off guard and surrounded. If he was up against the wall initially, then that would have been pretty different as well. JonSnow hoping, you know, beyond his, you know, realizations, his realistic expectations, I guess, that there would be no roaches, but there are a lot more roaches, and this is still not going to quite be enough.
Oh, that's interesting. The cocoons are acting like Sim City. That's kind of cool.
GG.
Yeah, GG. Nerchio takes game number 1. Maybe not the most surprising outcome of all time, but it is a best of 5. And Nerchio has to win 3 games to actually lock this down. So JonSnow still absolutely has a chance. Also, I would like to... One sec. I'm dying here. I would like to really give Nerchio a shout out for the way he sent us the map order, since every other player has just like either not used spaces or hasn't identified which was map 1, map 2. Nerchio has neatly and tidily separated this out.
Okay, you can praise him for that if you want, but it's just like, I hope you're not reading that with all the numbers and being, well, I guess Belshier's for.
No, but it's just it's at a glance. Like, you don't even have to think about it. It's like right there. Whereas what was it? Major just like had no spaces.
I mean,
it was just like 5 maps.
That was pretty funny. Like you couldn't bother to press the space in button. Actually, I have a problem with this keyboard for doing that because of the way that it's tilted up and also like it's so light as well.
Yo,
I can't hit the space bar.
My wrist is dying from casting on this desk. I've never had troubles with this before. But this setup is not something I
was
ever
going to say, it really
again.
doesn't help that it's like, it's pretty low for you. You're always like a little bit off to the right because the mouse is over here.
I sit here.
Your neck is twisted this way the entire time.
Yeah, this is. I'm constantly doing stretches. But okay, let's. Oops, I got to swap Nerchio up. He wants to match history. Say when ready. All right, Nerchio's good. Just waiting on the JonSnow. Go, go, go.
There's so many people in here that don't actually have like passes to be in this little section.
Yeah.
But it's such like a it's like such a BMU to be like, you're not supposed to be here.
Well, it's it's like day 2 or whatever. Like I don't think. Ow. It's coming to a close. I don't know if anyone really cares about being the police for it.
Well, no one cared on the first day, so it's hard to say that it's ever been enforced.
I will say at least it doesn't seem like anyone here has been like
belligerent.
Yeah, no one's really like annoying the players. No one's getting in the faces of anyone else.
It's funny though because like everyone's so nice in StarCraft. Really, I mean, maybe you don't believe me, but I think it's true. Where like even if someone was annoying them, like constantly hovering over their shoulder and like saying things, like they can't really just be like, "Can you please leave?" But just go. Oh, it's gonna get interesting.
It will. In the top left, trying to make things interesting. Once again, we do have the early pull on gas first, and JonSnow.
In the bottom right, with an also early pool, it is the Red Zerg Nerchio.
I like the idea that Nerchio is kind of he's the more experienced player of the two of them. He's like the grizzled veteran. He's seen the end of tournaments many times, and he's like, "Son, let me show you how this is done."
Son, it's more like, "Son, I am disappointed. Let me show you how the early pool is done." Yeah. Well, I think it's also very surprising to have JonSnow go for 2 early pools in a row and like 2 early committed pools. Like he's doing the same build. That's not too common. So Nerchio was maybe hoping for the same thing and really was just looking to slap him down for trying, but he also may have been hoping that it was the old 1-2 where you are overly aggressive initially and then overly macro the next game. You can kind of reverse that either way, and it can be a good way to play.
There's some certain guess games you can definitely play, and I always go back to, I remember it was Suppy and it was like State of the Game. Back in the day they were describing Nerchio and like he's the king of coin flips. So like he was just always so good at guessing. You got to imagine, like years later, he's gotten only better at it.
Yeah, that's funny. I haven't really thought about that for a long time. You've just been so good lately.
Also, if you guys are here at Austin and you want to come say hi, do not touch me.
Yeah, that's weird.
I'm not sure what's going on in chat. Everyone's trying to convince people to give me hugs and pokes.
There's like one rule that's going to make you less of a creeper by 100%, and that's like don't just assume you can touch someone.
Oh, whoops. Cool mouse. Nice moves. All right, so Nerchio manages to sneak his links by. That may or may not actually be a blessing, though. JonSnow, realizing his own natural, might suddenly have a lot of red flags raised, and he starts heading home. Nerchio's going to be just buying time to get his own banelings out if he was able to sneak by, but surprise, surprise, lings have been revealed.
Yeah. So JonSnow had a much faster baneling nest, but Nerchio has much faster speed, rather. And that speed might even be more important than the banelings. You can't make that many banelings early on anyways, so if you do snipe those 2 with your speed, then, well, JonSnow could be in trouble. But they really are doing this little dance of disengaging, engaging, and searching and running around whatever units they have. He's going to have to split.
All he really has to do is kill the one,
okay.
though. I mean, that sucks, but there's no follow-up. He knows it, too. So he just holds position on the ramp, make sure nothing runs by. He's got his own little squad ready to go. And it looks like this queen's ready to intercept, same with 2 banelings. So I don't think Nerchio's going to get much done either.
Yeah. It's funny to see 2 early pulls. Just backs off immediately, but if Nerchio could maybe fit in a natural base faster than JonSnow, that'd also be good. And that's exactly what's going down here. Is JonSnow can't really push out into this. And he's already invested a lot of his minerals, so he's still having to wait to bank quite a bit more. Speed is about to finish. He is hopefully not going to be blindsided by that baneling ling attack force right there. Loses the drone. Trades out evenly. I mean, it's slightly like it's like an incline, you know, like it's not magic.
Sorry, I'm being tilted, guys. My phone keeps slipping off the desk, and it's really, really annoying.
Well, he has it on the laptop, and the laptop's definitely inclined.
It's inclined to push it off with black magic.
Okay. Oh. All right, so Nerchio has 2 more workers, a bit less on the army supply, but a much, much faster natural base with the higher worker counts, and of course, he should have all the tools necessary to defend anything JonSnow has to throw at him. They aren't quite scouting each other's ling reinforcements. I actually couldn't tell if Nerchio's Overlord saw that or not. I'm going to assume that it did.
Don't know, actually.
I feel like
we're in the cusp of it.
Yeah, well, that's usually a very important part about ZvZ is having an Overlord to see if they're reinforcing or not. So I'm hoping Nerchio just had it on the very edge.
Well, these banelings are going to get popped off, so he's not going to have that much to work with. These banelings split out of Nerchio too, so he gets some pretty good trades here. Not losing much for those hits. Takes out the lings, and JonSnow's got like 3 Zerglings left to do damage with. He's knocking out a lot behind this, though, and a big part of this for JonSnow is like just not getting greedy with his workers. Nerchio hasn't killed a lot, right? Like he's just down 10 workers, straight up.
Managed to kill 3 workers, but down 5, 6 now, as they're both droning pretty equally at this point. I got a couple banelings being morphed in for JonSnow, I guess, defensively. Point is, they're not drones, which is what he needs right now, and Nerchio is simply taking all the leads. All the leads.
Yeah, this is a good game number 2 for Nerchio, without a doubt. It does make me really worried about JonSnow. Like, this is to go down 0-2 in the series to somebody like Nerchio. It's a ZvZ. It's already a frustrating enough matchup in the first place. That's not going to be confidence going into game 3. But I do want to point out I did go 0-2 to Hearthstone before I came back to 2-1 him later.
That's true. If only there was a second best of 5 you could play.
Well, that's I look at this like 2 best of 3s almost, right? Like
the math almost adds up.
Almost. Just don't take that loss, I guess. Bailey gets a good hit, washes away the lings, not a problem. Third base comes down from JonSnow a little bit late. Of course, Nerchio's is already about halfway done. Yeah,
again, just every single place you look now is leads. A little bit not in the army supply, but faster lair, faster third base, faster Rotorn.
Isn't that a place in like Britain?
What?
Leeds?
Not that I know of. I mean, if you say it with an accent, anything sounds like it's in England.
Yeah, that's fair.
The city of leaks. Bolts and leaks.
That sounds like some steampunk stuff. All right, so Nerchio's not really in a position to overwhelm and win. But without a doubt, as we said, he's got these leads here and there. And I'm liking his position in the game. He's also a player who's not likely to make a lot of mistakes. You're not going to find him kind of moving down the wrong location and get caught off guard unless it's a genuine attack that JonSnow sets up for like a surprise, kind of like we saw with those lings. But even then, Nerchio was able to power through it in game 1. So this is going to be really tough for JonSnow. He can't rely on his opponent making a mistake. He just has to play absolutely perfectly and take good defensive engagements to get his favor back in this game.
Yeah, not too far behind on the +1, and roach speed is probably going to be well enough time not to be a huge difference maker, unless JonSnow makes the absolutely atrocious mistake of just moving out without roach speed. I mean, it's very possible Nerchio already has his.
Oh, that's a good scout, by the way. Gets that layer start up.
So I don't think JonSnow's going to make a mistake, but it is going to be meaning he's on the defense the entire time. He managed to get a bit of a drone lead here. I think he's still going to be up 2 workers when their rounds are finished off. But it's very, very slight.
Well, actually, where's the... I haven't used the Incograph at all today. Where's this thing? There we go. Queen goes down. Bandits get some okay hits. Nothing too devastating for JonSnow. Still sitting on 57 workers. But this is where the game starts, I guess, taking a split. Cutting workers now, going straight for roaches, while Nerchio continues to drone behind this. However, between the infestation pit and defender's advantage, there's a pretty good chance that Nerchio, if he has to defend, can deal with JonSnow's soon-to-be superior army.
Yeah, I just don't know how much. I don't think it's going to be superior enough. Defender's advantage, gotta still get over there. Nerchio's going to add on those infestors and really just have a very rounded-out army. Probably going to straighten a +2 as well. I mean, they're both not attacking each other anytime soon, apparently. So it's going to be a bit of a waiting game, but now JonSnow's doing a 4th base. Maybe he could mix things up and not just go for infestors as well, but maybe use Tumbling Claws or hell even Aspire.
Taking out Overseers all over the place, or Overlords, excuse me, that's kind of annoying. JonSnow now losing a lot of his presence on the other side of the map. That was a zombie grub sound right there is what that was.
An Overlord dying?
An Overlord hatching.
Oh. This round, we're casting the other 4 matches of the round of 16. There's no winners and losers bracket.
Yeah. The round of 8 comes out after. We're not casting. I've confirmed this is our last series of the day. Our last series of the event. Melissa said, I guess we did get some tearing through special, aka major.
Yeah, today. Thermal yesterday.
Yeah, him and Thermal. Go Terran.
There are a lot of Zergs. And they're still winning.
Europe has ruined everything.
Everything. I mean, Namshar even added another Zerg in there. Took Showtime the game number 5.
Yeah, that was impressive. While you were interviewing Cham, I went and just kind of chilled with Neve and was talking about it, actually. And who he wanted to fight more and all that. But anyways, we're kind of getting close to the boiling point of this game. Both players are getting closer and closer to maxed out. Armies are looking fantastic. When it comes to actual supply, Roaches, Ravagers, they're all dead even, but Nerchio has 3 Infestors, and this separates the men from the boys.
Because of their pet Infestors. It's a little weird. It's like owning a cat that can spit at you. Spit fungals.
Spit game-winning spell moves.
Yeah, if only cats could do that. Well, Nerchio definitely has that superior army. I mean, he even has the numbers on his side, but of course now with the Infestors has the tech on his side as well. A couple more Ravagers than JonSnow, and JonSnow is just going to hope that well, first of all, the Infestors aren't that great. Like, they don't really get rid of the fungals, or maybe the Corsair Biles miss. Or he just has a beautiful concave. Great positioning. Oh, you're just going to take it.
Holds everything in place. Corrosive Biles land, no problem when units can't move away from them. Now the Fungal's ready to go as soon as the cooldown's up. There we go. Hits a good chunk of the army and just sprays down death from above.
Yeah. JonSnow down 40 army supplies. +2's finally about to finish, but was missing for that fight. And his 4th base is under attack. The Infestors stood on their last Fungal for some time, and even most of them are now dead. But I think Nerchio's already won.
He's already got the army advantage he needed to have. He's going to knock down this 4th base on top of it. 49 Roaches to 28. Forget the Infestors. The Roaches alone are going to have this game.
Yeah, I'm surprised Nerchio's backing off.
Well, you know, he did get Burrow. This just gives them, I think, a moment to heal up the Roaches. Of course, they get a little bit of enhanced regeneration while burrowed.
It's pretty insane, really.
Well, Tunneling Claws is what makes it insane.
Boom.
Actually, it's crazy. The difference between Tunneling Claws and regular Burrow is actually, I think, the difference of a Stalker being able to kill a Burrow Roach or not. One singular Stalker.
Yeah, I know. Know what you meant. Up 20 army supply, even on upgrades finally, and there's no Fungals to talk about here, so it really is just numbers versus numbers. And 10 army supply difference, that's win a position. A couple good Corrosive Biles could actually throw this into JonSnow's favor.
Well, he just keeps picking off Overlords, he's picking off Roaches. Like, every time Nerchio Corrosive Biles, he's getting kills. There's been very few missed shots, and I almost wish it was like an in-game stat we could look at for accuracy, right? But it's been looking pretty good for Nerchio through and through. While the army here's a little bit injured, tattered, and damaged, JonSnow might take a defensive fight, but at the end of the day, he doesn't have that 4th. He's trying to take one down here, but Nerchio sees it. He sees it full well.
JonSnow has gotten to the point that if he had any tricks up his sleeve, if he had Burrowed Infestors, if he had Tunneling Claws, if he had a Hive barely being, pushed out here, then maybe he's actually brought it back. But he really is just hanging on by a thread. And eventually Nerchio is going to get, again, more Infestors, Hydras apparently for the DPS. Hell, he could even go 2 Brute Lords if he wanted, because you're pretty much sure that JonSnow's not going to have any response to that. Checking for bases as well. JonSnow realized it just cancels it.
It's just not even worth the trouble. And I actually like that decision, too. Nerchio may have very well been waiting for it to finish specifically to snipe it, but army count right now, 47 to 54. It's, again, I feel these 2 Infestors are going to be the key difference. But Nerchio's up 10 workers, so while all this goes on, I didn't even realize how much of a bank he had accrued so far.
Yeah, JonSnow's going to take like one good fight and be like, yeah, maybe I can do this, and then just meet an entire other army instantly remaxed. He's actually just going to like choke into his own SimCity. The Infestors aren't quite here on the front lines. They're burrowed, actually.
Actually, Nerchio takes a bad start to the fight. The Fungal helps a little bit here towards the end, but a lot of that firepower is missing. Now goes for the Corsair Biles, catches his opponent's Ravagers. JonSnow's knocked down to barely 3.
Yeah. Nerchio is, of course, the one that's going to instantly remax in the back of this. He has the money, he has the larva. I mean, I think he even saved on his Infestors. So while his army does get cleaned up, there's not a real chance to counter for JonSnow.
I really love that with his death throws, he chooses to focus down the Ravagers. They can be much easier to kill on higher priority targets. That's a bit awkward. Hi, friends.
Hi.
Yeah, there's just no money for JonSnow compared to Nerchio. He's still, after spending an extra 50 supply over his opponent, got 1,000 minerals in the bank.
Yep. Which is not super expensive. His high finished a while ago, and he didn't go for a Spire and Ultima's Cavern. He is going for +3 weapons, already with a single upgrade lead with Carapace. And now just a very dominating army supply. Finally going to end it out. This has been Nerchio's game from basically the very beginning.
Yeah. I'll give it to JonSnow. Hell of a fight for both these games, going miserably in the start for him, though. But it's game 2, not game 3. So GG's get called, but it's not over yet. Nerchio's got to win one more game if he wants to secure the series.
He's got to bring the reverse kill. He had one today already. Special.
Yeah. I guess we'll get the lobby up for Proxima, and then we got to go to a quick break, folks. So sit tight. And we'll see you with a little bit more when we get back.
Hello, everybody. I had to reach that keyboard, but Rifkin is still in the bathroom, so we'll be back soon. We're getting into game number 3, possibly the last game of the series. Can I do it? I did that part right. Can I do it again? I did that part right too. Amazing. In the bottom left on Proxima as the red Zerg, it is Nerchio. In the top right is the blue Zerg. It's JonSnow. He's got to start the wins now. Last game in this round of 16. And, yeah, that's right? Yeah. Math, it's hard. And it's not looking so hot. He's already got like more money I think than he anticipated getting to this stage of the tournament, but would love to actually get a game at least off of Nerchio, King Europe.
King Arthur.
Yep.
Thank you for covering for me while I was gone. Appreciate it.
Yep. So no early pools this time. JonSnow did 2 in a row and both failed.
I think it's a risk worth taking because it is such a difficult thing to hold off. Even if you know exactly what you're doing, it can still go miserably wrong. But yeah, realizing at this point Nerchio's got this in lockdown, and I feel like I'm not trying to take shots at JonSnow with this comment, but I feel like if he had done a little more homework, he'd know Nerchio's actually really good at defending early pools. Cheese just doesn't technically work against him in ZvZs. Because Nerchio, well, there's a lot of players out there who hide their builds or like they don't play in a lot of online cups. Nerchio plays in all the online cups in Europe, which means most specifically he plays a lot of ZvZs, which are not just publicly available through VODs, but of course if you're subbed to the channel, you have those straight up replays of.
I mean, it's really hard to say that he didn't do his homework in that regard because...
Well, that's why I'm saying I don't want to sound like offensive to him. It's not like, oh, this idiot didn't do his research.
When you say he doesn't do his homework, usually that means like, well, he clearly makes mutas at 5 minutes. Everybody knows that. But to see someone that is as strong as early pools still doesn't take away the fact that that might still be the best way to do it because you also know that they're strong in macro, and it's like, well, what do I do?
I guess, yeah, it's the lesser of two evils in that
Yeah,
regard,
that kind of thing. Like, he's like, well, I note here that Nerchio's good all around, so,
You know how I know your voice is going, by the way?
How's that?
When I'm briefly casting with Marge Simpson in spurts.
Hey!
Oh, me! Okay, well,
compliment.
A couple links coming across the map for JonSnow. I don't know if he'll scout Nerchio's fast third, though. This is another thing that like, maybe is not so common to most players, but I think is more common to Nerchio, where he'll take weird natural bases, not just against Protoss to avoid the probe harass and the super pylon, but also against Zerg players. And JonSnow, if he doesn't get back there to confirm this, this could just be 2 bases, or it could be 3. But not knowing is actually really dangerous.
Well, it's, Yes, funny enough, it's Nerchio who's getting that spine crawler, even if his isn't being scouted.
Thank you, Lumberjack, for the 200 bits.
Yep,
Do appreciate it.
So, right, he's getting the spine crawler at his third base, and this might look defensive. In fact, he might even let it finish and just have it because he can have it. But he's actually making a lot of lings, and a lot of time if you go for a fast third base, it's not necessarily because you want to be droning all the time. In fact, it's a lot because, I'd say more often it is because you're just going to use it as a larva factory. But he makes about 20 plus lings now. He does go back into droning after that. He will have that spine crawler, I suppose, to help in case this doesn't work out, in case JonSnow went for an early baling nest. If JonSnow had Banelings and a lot of things already ready to go because he was actually going to be super aggressive off of 2 bases, maybe Nerchio gets swamped. And he made a mistake by doing this. But that's not the case. JonSnow has a decent number of lings. Queen's going to come down for this. His Baneling still isn't quite done. And Nerchio, if he does get counterattacked, would have already bumped up his worker count. And hopefully will be able to use his Spine Crawler and Queen to his advantage.
Well, unfortunately, his lings do get mostly cleaned up already by JonSnow, so further aggression might be out of the question. Although, he does bait him back here to a really good engagement spot.
Yeah. JonSnow is flooding with lings through the middle of the map. There's like a single ling or something. I did see that, which is pretty important. Nerchio does not have his own Baneling nest, so if JonSnow were to all in with the lings and the Banelings, it might have worked out. But Nerchio doesn't need Banelings, just gets a wall off, and that Spine Crawler did end up finishing from earlier, but the wall off isn't going to last for very long. The secondary wall off is just barely good.
He doesn't have transfuses though, so it's still a struggle to keep the Queen alive. It's a struggle to keep that Spine Crawler alive. And here comes the Banelings.
Yeah, that Queen is going to go down, but you already held the line for so long. The Spine Crawler still just barely lives. Even a couple more shots is really crucial. More lings on the way, more roaches on the way. Nerchio just needs to hold here. He's up 11 workers.
It is a question of just holding, of course, but he doesn't have that much to hold with. It is the workers. It's the Queens, it's the militia trying to hold on, but he decides that he does decide to rally. I don't know why I said it like that. He rallies the forces, he pushes us back, and he replaces the wall. So right now, this is looking so good for Nerchio.
While he was studying, he studied a medieval history. I think everyone makes that mistake sometimes.
I'm tired, man. I got no excuses.
All right, so the secondary wall off, or the second wall off, I should say, is just about ready to go, and it's already too healthy for the Banelings to buff. So JonSnow just has to walk back home, all sad looking. He did manage to get some workers to help even it up, so he's only down by 3, but he is missing the Roach tech now. Ooh. So you're not gonna tap it? I'm gonna say tap it.
Yeah, 12 health. That had to go down.
Yeah, make him remake the Roach one at the very least. I mean, obviously it's not like a timing or anything. He's like, oh, now I gotta attack into him, but. But it is going to be at least 150 more minerals for Nerchio to spend.
They were right. You do sound different in real life. I feel so bad for your voice right now.
It doesn't hurt. It just it's hard. It's difficult.
I've been there. You get to that point where you just can't hit. You just can't hit it. But while the rocks in the back are being torn down, Nerchio's fully aware of this. Roach comes back to shoot this off. He's so on the ball this game.
Proxima has been in the map pool for so long at this point, and that's like the first time I've seen a ZvZ Lings take down that thing.
Well, they didn't really take it down.
They didn't even do it, exactly.
Maybe that's why. Now, the full wall off might hurt Nerchio a little bit. He'll have to kill one of the Evo chambers. Unfortunately, he's researching weapons with the one that's low that he would have liked to have knocked down.
Yeah, kind of. It's awkward. Oh, well. Let's get around to it. So, JonSnow, down 14, 16 workers. He's making a lot more, though, now. They'll probably reach the same amount, but this is kind of like last game where Nerchio and JonSnow were fighting with maxed out armies, but then you looked at it, Nerchio had slightly faster +1, he had slightly faster infestors, or just they had infestors in general, and he had a huge bank from having the better drone count for a longer period of time. So the point is, Nerchio, I mean, he could have theoretically, I suppose, held even better than he did, but he still held pretty okay, and I'm sure he's happy with the game as it is right now.
Well, it moves forward towards the Roach play. I do want to point out that JonSnow is taking a hard left and gone to Spire play.
Yeah, I wondered if he was going to do this last game, but I guess he just felt like he was really locked into Roaches, and that was just his better chance. But it's not that Aspire is super amazing, and in fact, a lot of our players will say that it's really not.
That's where I was going to go.
It's that it does have the potential that if they do like try and take a 4th base with only 5 Hydras, then boom, suddenly the Spire works out. Take 5 Hydras to deny the 4th base, keep them contained, keep them reserved, and it works out. It's something different than just a literal numbers game, but that doesn't mean it's kind of gonna save them here.
Actually, it's funny because the way Nerchio's played this out, he's going to knock down his own Roach Warren first off.
Maybe after it finishes the research.
Yeah, he already started building another one, so it's not like he's going to be out of this. But timing here is going to be of the essence. Mutas are on the way. And JonSnow's only going to have money to build, like, what, 5 or 6? No, he's building Roaches instead. Did he cancel the Spire?
He must have.
Yeah.
It just, I mean, yeah, it's...
I don't know if he can hold.
I don't think so.
I mean, the army numbers look similar, don't get me wrong, guys, but it's 32 Roaches that are going to have pretty nice upgrades. +1 Carapace is going to help out a ton.
Yeah. Even if Nerchio sees that it's pretty much an even fight here and says, okay, I don't have to take this fight, like, he can say that. He doesn't have to. He has the more upgrades on the way. He has Invitation on the way. He has control of the map anyways. And it is going to take the fight. JonSnow has a better concave and slightly more army, especially with the Terran's advantage.
Yeah, as you guys probably saw, Nerchio had several Roaches running around the back line. So this is going to actually go pretty well for JonSnow on the defense.
Yeah. Nerchio would have been better off, I think, just saying like that wasn't a convincing enough engagement. It attacked right before ground carapace finished as well. It only just now did. So that was kind of like an anti-timing. But I'm not sure JonSnow is going to get so much momentum off of this that he can win.
So right before the attack came in, he rescouted with the Overlord and saw that the Spire was canceled. And I'm wondering how much of this choose to move out like had to do with that. But
man.
Lings run by past the army. They'll get a queen at the very least.
That's pretty brutal. And these are at least somewhat upgraded with a +1 carapace, so this is going to be a bit of work to clean up. And that does pull JonSnow's attention away and a lot of his reinforcements.
Right to the back base. There's no queen back here. There's nothing to defend. He has to pull the drones away. This will be lost money for JonSnow. This is a nice move for Nerchio.
Yeah, it was a really good move, in fact. Without this, without Lings on the field, JonSnow probably takes back control over the map and thus might take control back over the game. Nerchio really hasn't invested into Infestors quite yet despite having the Infestation Pit, but Nerchio will always have that +1 carapace on his side, so that's something that JonSnow just won't be able to catch up with.
No, and that was a really nice curse about knocking down an Overseer of all things. That's going to help out a ton if he decides to go Burrow later for those Infestors. But neither player with Burrow, so no healing the Roaches and no sneaking the Infestors.
Yeah. I'm sure they'll come along later. It's just a pretty useful tool to help them stay alive as well. But not for now. JonSnow, despite having to pull back for the Lings, still is feeling confident enough to be out on the map. He is facing an equal army size, though, so he really can't force the engagements. I don't think he should, but he is. Yeah. He was down upgrades, and the army size is not big enough to really go up a ramp like that. Plus, there could be Infestors. There are Infestors, but there could have been ones with Fungals, and that would have been very dangerous.
Well, actually, I'm wondering, the Crucibles, I guess, will favor JonSnow, so whoever can get the more secured hits are going to be better. Fungals will guarantee that happens, but the energy's not here just yet. About 2 seconds to go, 2 ticks before you can land a Fungal.
JonSnow does finally start his +1 carapace, but a very long time before they are even. Nerchio's using his bank to go into a hive and burrow as well, and he's still waiting for those money Fungals. Fungals come down, corrosive biles just raining on so many Roaches.
And this is such a good way to use those Infestors too. In the past, it used to just be like grab what you can and maybe it's a little bit of damage, but even then, catches the army, forces him to fight. No more running away, JonSnow. He says, I want to fight you here and now. Nerchio's up 10 Roaches, 6 Ravagers, and is continuing to press the issue.
JonSnow had a bit of a bank, but it's already pretty much depleted. Not going to be getting to max anytime soon. He's going to try and run around to buy that time to get to max, and it looks like by chasing this, he will have that time, but eventually will lose all this army.
I don't know if Nerchio needs to do this, but the funny thing is Nerchio's actually getting some advantage at a time, too. Because the longer this goes, the more Burrow's going to finish up. Tunneling Claws, +2. Like, Nerchio has a lot of tech coming out behind this. So while JonSnow's buying time to get anything out on the field, Nerchio actually has a follow-up plan to this.
Yeah. JonSnow is on 4 bases and equal amounts of workers, so it's like it was just a matter of time.
Ravagers end up getting caught coming back home. That's actually a really nice move. A very nice catch for JonSnow. I still don't know if it's going to be enough, though. Nerchio's Roaches might be a little bit late to the party, but his supply is still banging. It's there with 132 versus 88.
Yeah, unfortunately, that would have had a much larger portion of the army out of position to really get something done with that, so JonSnow is forced to disengage. He's running out of larva is the problem. He has the bank, but he didn't have the hatcheries, so he cannot get maxed out. He's also running out of gas.
Yeah, Nerchio, meanwhile, has maintained a fully maxed out supply, which is great. This lets him bank up not just the money, but of course, the larva.
This might just be the game-ending push. That carapace upgrade still in favor of Nerchio, and I guess Concave as well. Yeah,
JonSnow's doing the best out of a bad situation, but it's still not going to be good enough. Nerchio looking to dominate here for that 3-0. Get a very clean ride to that round of 8 as he knocks out JonSnow. No upsets here today, but congratulations on getting it this far, I must say.
Yeah, that's going to be still a good feeling for JonSnow. And to all the guys that made it as well, GG.
All right, Nerchio with the 3-0 manages to knock out JonSnow. Walks over, gives him a handshake. You guys can't see it, but JonSnow with a smile on his face. I think he's happy to have gotten this far.
Yeah.
Actually, what I liked about talking with JonSnow yesterday was like, got the vibe, like a humble dude, right? Not somebody full of ego, not cocky. Like, he was happy to get the results that he did. But Nerchio is ultimately going to be the winner. It moves on to that round of 8, where he's going to have even more tougher opponents to fight as time goes on.
Yeah, I'm not sure who he's facing.
We'd have to go look at the brackets. But for our side of things, I guess we're done. We don't have anything else to cast. So we'll poke Nerchio, see if he's interested in a last-minute interview. That might be the very last thing of the stream. But, yeah, I think that's going to be it. So We'll probably be back in a minute, but just in case we aren't, you want to say your goodbyes real quick?
Okay. Well, follow me on Twitter at CG Gaming, on Twitch, ZombieGrub, and YouTube, ZombieGrub.
Hey, Nerchio. Any chance for an interview, buddy? Any chance for an interview? Cool. All right, get lost, you.
Oh, fine. Well, okay. You can have this one. I'm going to give you a third one.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. All right, we got Nerchio joining us on stream. What's up, dude? Whoa. That was a really intense ZvZ. It was so close.
Was it really? No. Yeah.
You feeling
exactly.
good? You feeling good?
I don't know.
Okay, let me ask you this. A series like that, where you've got it, like, right, you're confident, you know you're probably going to win it. Is that like a confidence boost for you going to the next set, or is it just kind of like business as usual?
I would say business as usual. I would like to play a little bit faster. I'm kind of slow at this tournament, I would say. I want to do a lot of things, but I can't do all of them. Basically, lack of APM.
Ah, so it's just like a matter of like, how would you improve that then? What's your training for that?
I think I need a lot more warm-up. Today we started quite early, let's say. So, yeah.
So you got to change, okay.
Just a lot more playing before my match.
Now, I don't know the brackets off the top of my head. Who do you play next?
Kelazur or Snoot.
Okay. Kelazur and Snoot's kind of a very different dynamic. Like
that one might be interesting. Some people are saying that Kelazur is really good right now, coming from Korea.
It's interesting because he's probably the only one who doesn't think that.
I mean, you know StarCraft 2 players, right?
Nobody has confidence in themselves.
Yeah, most of the players aren't, right?
Well, you've had extensive ZvZ experience. Like, we've been casting, God, you versus Bly since the beginning of time, right? Then you got Snoot, there's a Laser, there's so many people in Europe, and of course with all the online cups you grind out too. Online Cup King, by the way.
Yeah.
We see you play plenty of ZvZs. Are you worried, if it's Snoot, are you worried about that?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah?
I mean, we played so many games, you can check that out on Aligulac. Basically, I think it's like 170 maps at least, or even more. And it's basically 50-50. So
really? I didn't actually realize you guys were so close. I would have given you an edge.
I think I have a little bit of an edge in the maps, but he has an edge in the matches.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, like that.
So a couple of the 2-0s here and there.
Yeah.
All right. So then let's go the other side of it. If it's Kelazur, what are your thoughts on that one?
I'm kind of worried about Terran right now because in Europe there is not that much practice. Like you thermal uninstalling the game. Yeah.
Yeah, you throw on Optimus. I mean, like, Bunny hasn't played seriously in like a year.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate because I think we've seen a lot of Terrans drop off. Of course, from our perspective, Europe has been like ZvZ. Korea's been all TVT, although now it's becoming PvP. Like, there hasn't been, I think, a good distribution in any region, really.
Yeah, so right now, Europe kind of lacks Terrans, which makes practice really, really hard. Basically, yeah, it's mostly Protoss and Zerg in Europe. Neep playing, so another Protoss. Major sometimes comes in on the ladder, but usually it's just like you Thermal, Optimus, Soul, Hero Marine maybe, and
so
that's it.
What do you think if, I guess this is gonna be a really dumb question, so forgive me in advance. Let's say they buff Terran. I know, God forbid. Let's say they buff Terran and it actually brings more Terran to the ladder, but you start losing more because Terran got buffed. You'll have more practice partners, but maybe less success. Is that a good or a bad thing?
I mean, when they're buffing Terran, it's a bad thing, obviously.
Actually, this segues into a question I want to talk to you about. The whole balance whining thing, right? Yeah. I mean, I think half the time it's clear when it's a joke, but half the time it's salty Nerchio. Like, what is it for you? Is it actually just like you got hate in your soul for Protoss, or what's the deal?
Yeah, I hate Protoss.
Yeah?
I think they have everything they need in StarCraft 2. Yeah, I came online and I show up in your stream and I continue whining.
Yeah, I've seen it. And Twitter's the best too, because then everybody sees it, right? But we were actually talking the other day about, like, yeah, there's some parts of the game where it just gets ridiculous. And I even sit here with my crazy ideas. I don't even know how to fix it. Like, I've got no clue. So good luck to the game designers with David Kim being gone, I guess.
I mean, yeah, game designing is not easy. And even though it's not perfect, I would say Legacy of the Void is still the best thing we have ever had in StarCraft 2 in terms of variety and stuff like that. So,
well, how do you feel about the most recent change with the Hydra health? Did that help? I think a lot of people were talking about, like, maybe it wouldn't even make a difference.
kind of interesting. I mean, you can probably see that, you know, Adept minus 10 HP, Hydra plus 10 HP. I like the small changes. I would like them to do a lot more of them.
So more small changes.
Yeah, but you can see it doesn't change that much. Like Protoss usually wins against Zerg still, and the Adept nerf.
You know what you need.
I'm not sure if it helped Terran. I'm not really sure. Yeah.
Oh, I thank you for the bits, JVS Loxer. Did you ever play the campaign?
Yeah.
Okay, they had like the Brutalisk unit.
Yeah.
They need to give Zerg the Brutalisk unit. I think would solve everything because of the anti-air unit, right?
Yeah. I mean, I always said that anti-air of Zerg is really bad, and I will stick to that opinion.
Even with the Corruptors being better now, they're still not that great, like compared to a lot of other options. Parasitic Bomb used to be too good; they toned it down. Like Zerg has definitely had difficulty dealing with air.
Yeah, I mean, I would mostly say it's, you know, a problem in ZVP, although a little bit less these days.
You had a good actually point about the feedback on Templar we were talking about. You want to share that, I guess?
I just don't enjoy, you know, basically feedback is the only instant ability in the game that works like that and kills your unit, which can be more expensive than the Templar itself.
Yeah,
and you can feedback 4 of them. So I would just tone down the feedback to 75 energy. Although these days, if you actually play perfect in the late game in ZVP, you can probably beat Skytos. And it comes
That's not
from
something
me.
I expected to hear you say. You are the last person in this whole arena that I expected to say that.
Yeah, but I actually believe it, although I don't see myself doing it very consistently. I saw Dark playing. Basically you need to, you know, control Vipers and Infestors, which are already 2 hotkeys, and Corruptors, Broodlords, which should not be together as well. And if you don't have any ground, then you'll just die to run-bys and stuff like that. So I think it's possible, but there's really a lot of things to do. You need to win as Zerg.
It's definitely Zerg have more unit variety than everyone else when it comes to compositions. Like, Protoss just it's Adept Phoenix. Zerg's like, it's Lings, Banlings, Hydras, Ultra. it's a lot of everything.
It's kind of a lot of everything, but I wish we had a more like stable composition in ZVP, for example. The other matchups are fine, but there is nothing really like, you know, Zealot, Archon, Immortal. You can basically make it against everything.
Yeah.
And as Zerg, there's no composition like that in ZVP, I believe.
I think that's kind of a cool point, though. At least this is from an observing fan point of view, where like you get to watch the players actually adapt to every situation a lot better. Whereas like if you do have only one composition you can go for, then you can't really adapt to the changes.
I mean, it's probably cool to watch, but it's very frustrating to play, I would say.
I absolutely understand.
Yeah. There is no like solid gameplay you can fall back on, which is kind of a pain, I would say.
Okay. Well, there's one last thing I want to ask you about. Man, you've nailed it lately. You got Urias Gaming, you got Red Bull. You're doing really well for yourself. You're a much different, not just player, but person from where you were like several years back.
Yeah.
You know, there's the old Nerchio who everyone hated. I loved. You were that spice of flavor, right? Like the BM I enjoyed. Do you feel like that was a bad thing? Like you've changed a lot since then. Do you regret being that guy? Are you happier now in general? Like how do you feel about yourself now compared to where you were like 4 years ago, for example?
I mean, when I started StarCraft 2, I was just shy and stuff like that, but these days I'm a lot more confident. I actually think the same way you do, that StarCraft 2 needs more villains, I guess.
Yeah, more flavor to it. It's
flavor,
bland
exactly.
and it's boring. Like, I love when there's some good smack talk going on.
Exactly. Like I like to talk in the beginning of the games with a lot of players. Some of them don't like that, some of them do.
You're the only player that will constantly poo with me in the lobby.
Yeah, I think, you know, the atmosphere needs to be more relaxed. I mean, when we were coming here, everybody will be a little bit tense because we're playing for a lot of money and stuff like that. But when we are playing at home for, you know, $100, it can be a little bit more relaxed, yeah.
Well, actually, I said that was the last question, but this is the last one. I asked Major this one. I'm going to ask you too. Given the opportunity for something like WCS, there's a decent amount of prize money in the line, but then there's something like a GSL, less prize money but like more prestige. Would you rather be the champion of something very prestigious, or are you just in it for the money?
I mean, it's a hard question. Actually, if I had to pick which one I would like to win, it would probably be GSL, But if you ask me if I want to win 10 WCS events or 10 GSLs, then I would say WCS.
I mean, obviously, everyone wants like some of the money. There's no question about
yeah.
that. But no, it's interesting because I didn't think about this until I was talking with the major about it, because he brought up how specifically he would rather win a GSL than, say, a WCS.
Yeah.
But yeah, 10 in a row, yeah, go for the money, dude. No one's going to
Exactly.
win 1 GSL, 9 WCSs. There you go.
Actually, like, you know, when I was still studying, I didn't really care that much about money. I just came to tournaments for fun, for competition, just to enjoy StarCraft 2. But after I finished studies and I'm full-time, I can't really allow myself to be like, oh, cool, it's a prestige, right?
It's an actual career for you.
Yeah. I mean, right now, let's say I'm wasting years that I could be spending in another business or something like that.
Well, I mean, the thing, too, is with folks like you who are successful, though, you're going to pick up a lot of contacts, experience on the way.
Yeah.
Like, I really don't think you're going to struggle, 10 years from now.
Yeah, I think, I mean, I'm always saying that StarCraft 2 was a great thing for me. And I think for other pro gamers as well, because it turned us like, performing in front of the audience is quite a big thing.
Yeah.
At the start, you're like, oh, what do I do? And
Stage
how do I
fright,
behave? Yeah, and everything changes for the better. So, as I said, I travel around the world. I'm more confident. I earned some money.
That's cool, too,
That's
getting
great,
to travel,
right?
man. I'm jealous. That's the whole reason I got into this. I want to travel to do things. It's awesome.
Yeah. Like, being a pro gamer is a great thing, as long as you can win from time to time. Otherwise, it's a really painful experience.
Emotional, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for donating some of your time to us to come on and talk. I know the fans are happy to have you come on. I want to wish you luck for the rest of the tournament.
Thank you.
Kick some ass, Nerchio.
Yeah, I will. See you later.
All right, and for us, guys, we are done. So, again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the player interviews that we were able to grab. Zongrab's already gone, so I'll do my shout-outs really quick. Follow me on Twitter at Riff_Kings if you want some nice shit posting. If you want to follow just BaseTradeTV professional things, just follow BaseTradeTV on Twitter. Follow the channel if you haven't. Check out the sponsors down below. We got some really awesome subs and bits and all these wonderful things today. Thank you guys for your generosity. It means the world to us because it means we didn't just get to come and have some fun, but we actually got to make some money for it too. Feels good, man. But who's the bit boss here for the end of the stream? I'll give this one extra love. Juvia Loxer, still with that big health pool. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. But as I said, guys, we are done. So I guess we'll probably host somebody up. Maybe we'll just do the StarCraft mainstream. I know I want to just go sit and chill and watch and get some fucking food. So have a great day. Thank you for joining us for WCS Austin. Take care. Bye-bye.